Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Mole Trap here, coming at you with Game 1 of the fourth place match of the 2004 ever OSL. And this is going to be between two fellas. Look at the names there, KTF Yellow and KTF Reach. These guys are teammates going up against each other in this fourth place match. And so this is going to be, this could be a final in itself. These are just two of the best players around. Reach barely losing in a hard-fought 5-game series to Uv. Went to the final game, and Yellow, I would say his 3-0 defeat, if you just look at that number, does not really represent the ability level of Yellow. That was kind of an interesting thing, that he kind of almost got cheesed out of the semifinals in a way. Anyway, we're seeing the stats on the bottom, by the way, 4-7 in favor of Hong Jin-ho, in favor of Yellow, who's going to be the blue Zerg on the right side of the map, by the way, if you didn't know, and Reach is going to be the teal Protoss on the left side of the map. So Yellow has come out ahead overall in their games together, but things could be different this time around. We're seeing him go for a drone scout here. And this is the map. This is the map that Reach lost his final game to, although he won his first game against Uv on this exact map. This is the map Mercury. And this kind of looks like a proxy the way it looks just on the screen, but it's actually at his natural expansion ramp there, or bridge. So just normal stuff here going on for Reach, but he is going to get a second gateway, actually. 2 gateways, so he's going to be putting on some pressure here. And his probe is going to scout where Yellow is, I think, and find out exactly where those zealots are going to need to go. He does not have a high probe count. This is a bit of an early pressure build, so Yellow's going to have to deal with it. Before we get too far into this series, let me give you a little bit more context about it as well. I got to apologize because before when I was talking about getting out of the semifinals, I was talking about the difference in the prize pool, right? The difference between second place or third place or fourth place. And I actually looked it up to see what the difference was between third and fourth place. And there's no difference. It's actually 0. So I actually didn't realize that when these guys were fighting to get out of the semifinals. Excuse me 1 second past me. This is future Mole Trap as the editor rather than the caster. I want to cut in real quick and make a correction that when I was looking up the information and saw that there was no money for third and fourth place, it was just not listed, and so I thought it was 0, but it's in fact just that I don't know what it was. So sorry about that. Wanted to cut in and make a correction since I think I mentioned it a few times. So that's it. Take it back, caster Mole Trap from the past. However, there is something maybe even more important than money at stake here, because the third place winner of this series, hold that thought, we got a zealot coming in here, is going to be doing some harassment. There is a creep colony going down that looks like he's going to try and morph it into a sunken colony. Is he going to be able to power that down? He's actually falling back, I think, in anticipation of these Zerglings that he knows are coming. He doesn't want to fight the sunken and the lings at the same time. He wants to make sure he's got a few zealots put together. He's got 2 zealots and a probe here, a mighty fighting force. He may wait for 4 zealots. Doubling your zealot count in this situation actually increases your power level more than double. So it's a smart move for him to kind of wait back. But Yellow's going to continue pushing Zerglings. So here's the thing, though. The damage has kind of been done. He's forced 2 colonies and looks like 10 Zerglings, right? So that is 1, 2. That's like, what is that? 7 drones, basically. 7 drones down, and a lot of mining time. And so he's actually done a significant economic hit to Yellow at this point. He doesn't actually have to do physical damage in order to take an advantage from this situation. So that's exactly what he's thinking here. He's going to fall back, try and protect his base from a counterattack, I think is probably where those zealots are going, back to hold his main. And then he's going to get an expansion. In fact, the Nexus going down before anything else. And Yellow actually is still a little scared of those zealots coming in, so he's actually got most of his Zerglings camped out. Look at this wall of zealots blocking the bridge. Nice little line there, making it so that the Zerglings cannot get any kind of surround. And now that he sees those Zerglings are on that ramp, on that bridge rather, he's sending... Did I say Zerglings? Now that he sees the Zealots are on the bridge, he can send his Zerglings out on the map because he's not scared of that attack coming in anymore. That's why he, I think, had left some of his Zerglings back here. And this is why he wants to get on the map. He wants to try and corner this probe, make sure he can't get a scout in. And he does get... Oh, he skips a little bit of missed micro there. The probe gets by. I don't think there's speed upgrade for the Zerglings yet. So, that probe might be able to get in and scout exactly what's going on, which is the Hydralisk Den. It looks like, actually, on the minimap, he did kill the probe. And what am I thinking? There's 2 sunken colonies there. Of course, the probe died without getting in, so that was a little bit silly of me to forget that. Anyway, there's a forge hidden somewhere, so he's got these cannons coming up as well. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten to make this point that I tried to make at the beginning of, earlier before we had a little bit of action. The 3rd place winner gets a seed into the next OSL. The 4th place does not. The 4th place gets a seed into the like next step down, which is the Challenge League, I believe. Is a dual tournament Challenge League? I always forget. No, the Challenge League gets into the dual tournament. That's right. So you get into the dual tournament by being in the top, 8 through 4. I believe, or something like that. But basically, you get a higher seed for getting 4th place than you do for the rest of, if you get 16th or something like that. But the 3rd place player gets directly into the round of 16. And in fact, they are seeded as one of the top 4 players that get to make the first pick in the group selection ceremony as well. So the 3rd place player has a much bigger advantage going into the next OSL than the 4th place player does. And oh, that Zealot barely does not make it through the absolute last spine. Subterranean Tentacle actually killing it off before it gets in. So he is not actually going to be expecting this Lurker Rush that we're seeing. Anyway, so yeah, and that's why we had, the 3 seeds for this were... I actually forgot who those 3 seeds were. I can just double check it on the screen and try and pay attention here. The 3 seeds were Jelizerg. Who was the other seed? I actually forgot who the other seeds were. I don't remember who. I think Jelizerg was one. Obviously, Jelizerg was, because he was the winner of the last OSL. Was Reach? I think Reach was actually one of the seeds. Yeah, so Reach is actually trying to get a seed here. And I think it was Reach, Jelizerg, and Uv were the 3 seeds. And it's actually kind of interesting to see them in the end here. The final 4. The 4th seed was Boxer, who actually, he got that seed by winning the Challenge League. Right? The Challenge League is like its own little mini tournament that gets you a seed. You get to skip the dual tournament, go straight to the round of 16 as the 4th seed. So anyway. This is pretty cute here. We got these lurkers doing a little bit of contain. This one lurker is in a position where the cannon is just out of range to hit it, and so he's able to assault some of the mineral patches. Okay, another cannon is warped in, or maybe he moved the lurker there. So he's gonna have to move that one. He's gonna be able to continue mining at that expansion. But now these other lurkers are able to go after this gateway, which isn't very crucial, to be honest, so it's not too big of a deal. Right now, Yellow's just kind of being obnoxious while he gets his 3rd base up. That's what was going on here. This is not a killing blow. He's not going all in on a lurker rush attack or anything like that. He's just using this to get him to get his 3rd base and maybe his 4th. Is it a 4th base at the bottom right actually that we see? There's some vision down there and a little bit of a purple mini mappage, or blue, I guess. Anyway, so pretty standard stuff here as we move forward, and we do have the Templar Archives now for Reach. He's rebuilding that 2nd gateway behind there. He still wants to have at least 2 gateways out, and that Dark Templar, sneaky Dark Templar, is roaming across the map. And this is kind of a disparate map. There's a lot of ins and outs, a lot of what have yous, a lot of different places that bases can be, and so it's a little bit difficult to keep overlords at every point that you would need to protect. And what? Okay, Yellow. I didn't even see the Spire. Maybe I was looking over at the tournament format when they showed the Spire or something like that. But Yellow is amassing Mutalist, and this shuttle with DTs in it is going to run right by them. Oh no! And he's actually going to kill off the shuttle. There's also an Overlord there. Is he going to get the Dark Templar? He does not get the Dark Templar. Barely survives with, it looks like, just, I think, 6 hit points left or something like that on that Dark Templar. So it will live to harass another day. However, Yellow is dealing quite well with the situation, and he does have Overlords and I believe a Sunken Colony at his both expansions. So not a huge risk. And actually, Yellow running into the main base with these Mutalisks. Are these cannons going to be enough? Now, this is, you know, before the days when Protoss would automatically get a Stargate and get Corsairs. And this was a threat that they had to figure out a way to deal with if this Mutalisk happened. He's actually going right after the Templar Archives. He's morphing an Archon, but those are going to be the last Templar that Reach makes for a while. He still has the Citadel, of course, and it looks like he's actually remaking the Templar Archives down at the bottom there. But he's actually, this is beautiful. Yellow's able to stay outside of the range of the cannons and do damage to other buildings. The Archon coming in here is going to frighten them away, but he could actually kill that Archon if he kept his Mutalisk spread apart. And it's funny to say that because this is pre-Mutalisk clumping, so of course his Mutalisks are spread apart. Yeah, he could have theoretically killed off that Archon and continued doing damage, actually. This is a little bit interesting. But now, Yellow does have the latitude to take a 4th base, by the way. And he also has eyes on possible 3rd bases that Reach could have. So I think Yellow is taking a big advantage here. He does track down, now that he has Overlord speed, track down that Dark Templar that was kind of wandering around. Another shuttle is coming out onto the map. Oh, did that Speedling see it? Did the Zergling see the shuttle creeping by? That is exactly why that Zergling is there, is to spot units going out on the map. See if there's any sneaky attacks going on. But this is actually not a sneaky attack, it's a sneaky expand. What is he? Ooh, is he gonna hide some tech actually? Not sure what's going on there. But the Mutalisks are back in the main. Where's the Archon? The Archon is there, but I mean, this is the thing with Mutalisks is the Archons are slower. And they can't go over gaps and things. And so, okay, but Reach says, okay, you're gonna threaten me? I'm gonna move out. And he does have an Observer. Oh, he snipes the Observer! He snipes the Observer. Beautiful play by Yellow. Going with those Mutalisks. Doesn't even need Scourge. Snipes the Observer. The Archon has to run in fear. The Zealots are being slaughtered. And the Dark Templar are being slaughtered here. And Yellow's going in with a killing blow, I think. I think his economy has kicked in from that 3rd base. And the 4th base is just starting to get up and running. But Yellow, the Storm Zerg, is coming across the map with a large group of Hydralisks and Lurkers. And the Mutalisks to back it up as well. He's running in with the Lurkers. There's not a lot of cannons here within range of those Lurkers. He doesn't have Observers. The Mutalisks are coming in a little bit late. The Archon gets taken out by the focused fire of the Hydralisks. Now the cannon goes down as well. The Hydralisks are on top of the Lurkers. There's no way to actually get at the Lurkers. Does he have a Psystorm? One Psystorm could turn this around. Does he have Psystorm available to go to work on those Hydralisks? And the Lurkers, the High Templars just standing there impotently not doing anything. It looks like Psystorm might not be finished researching because the Templar Archives was killed off earlier. He had to remake it. So there's no Psystorm, and there's the GG coming from Reach. Yellow takes game number 1. A little bit of a shake of his head there. A little disappointing at that situation, but Yellow just outplayed him at every turn there. The switch into Mutalisks was absolutely beautiful. What a play there. And again, you know, this was 2004. So even though there's no Mutalisk clumping in 2004, it was also not a given that, you know, the Protoss player would get Corsairs early on. So I mean, and this is why I was hearing a high level player that was streaming the other day that was talking about this. May have been I don't remember who it was, but someone was talking about this, how this is why Protosses go for Corsairs early in the modern day, is because the Mutalisk possibility is so strong that if they don't have some anti-air something to deal with that, then it could be a catastrophe, and that's how it went. The Archon came in. He needed probably 2 Archons, or he needed Psystorm to actually have an effective ground counter to those Mutalisks. I mean, it is possible to do that. You don't need Corsairs necessarily, but the Corsairs are just obviously much more mobile and can go around the map, whereas the Mutalisks can just, if you send your Archon to the main, they fly around and attack the natural. If you send your Archon to the natural, it gets stuck on your buildings, they fly around in the main. So, it's a trade-off there. But anyway, that's going to do it for game number 1. Yellow takes an early lead here, 1-0 in this best of 5 matchup. I'm so excited about this matchup, though. It's just gonna be awesome watching the rest of the games. These two teammates are gonna have to know each other really well, and that can sometimes make for even better games because there's so much mind games that can go on when you know what strategy your opponents can pull out because you've been practicing with each other. So, anyway, that's gonna do it for game number 1. GG. Thanks for watching.